Hello and welcome back to J. Kerner for Astrology. Today we're here to discuss the full blood moon total lunar eclipse 15 degrees Pisces peaking on Sunday, September 7th, 2025 at 2:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, featuring the full moon co-present with the north node of collective fate and destiny, 18 degrees Pisces, and Saturn retrograde, 29 degrees Pisces. Eclipse season is upon us. Eclipses are like wild cards that unearth permanent changes, endings and new beginnings, amplified by Saturn and Neptune traveling in close conjunction together along the cusp of Pisces and Aries, the very first and final signs of the zodiac. Eclipses are a special time because they are aligned with the lunar nodes of collective fate and destiny. Whatever has been brewing beneath the surface will be revealed in dramatic and unexpected ways. This is especially true when we consider that Uranus stationed retrograde just the day prior, on Saturday, September 6th, 2025. And even more so when Uranus is traveling through Gemini, highly adaptable, mutable air sign Gemini, the sign of the twins, amplifying themes of duality and dichotomy. Eclipses always come in pairs. Solar eclipses come with new moons, and lunar eclipses come with full moons. Together they create cycles of ending and beginning. But remember, there are no endings, only new beginnings. Eclipses are nothing to fear. They are powerful course correctors. If something ends, trust that it was time. If something new is beginning, trust that it is aligned. You are on the right path. Fated shifts are unfolding. Let go of what's falling apart. Release egoic urges to resist, chase, or control. Stop forcing what isn't working. Make space for the new path that's unfolding and trust it. What's meant to stay will strengthen. What's meant to dissolve will do so naturally. Redirection and rejection are divine protection. Everything is happening for you, not to you. Take accountability for your healing. Do you want to stay on this timeline? Do you want to keep having these patterns or experiences? Or is it time to finally get off the merry-go-round? Lunar eclipses are therefore full moons on steroids. They emphasize completion, closure, endings, and things coming to a head or boiling point. It's going to be particularly emotional in Pisces, a mutable water sign, and the most sensitive of the water signs. Important people and beings may leave your life, whether they pass away or bring an end to the connection. And revolutionary energy is heightened, propelling us to make important changes. Uranus stationed retrograde just yesterday. Pluto is out of bounds from late August until late November. And this year, Pluto moves from north of the ecliptic to south of the ecliptic, representing power shifting back to the people and amplifying Pluto and Aquarius themes. Step into self-sovereignty and stand your ground. Pluto out of bounds unearths themes of power and control, cycles of death and rebirth, and personal transformation. Whenever Pluto is out of bounds to the south, it brings about revolutions, rebellions, and collapses of society or civilization. Pluto out of bounds to the south, therefore, further emphasizes Pluto in Aquarius themes. Revolts against centralized structures and power lead to the establishment of new power structures. Some examples of this can be seen in history: the American and French revolutions, and the Protestant Reformation. Drop it in the comments below. Which centralized power do you think the people will revolt against this time around? The full blood moon total lunar eclipse 15 degrees Pisces, aligned with the north node of collective fate and destiny, 18 degrees Pisces, and co-present with Saturn retrograde, 29 degrees Pisces. So we have 4 important placements in the sign of Pisces and 3 important placements in the sign of Virgo, creating a dynamic axis of tension along the Pisces versus Virgo axis of opposition, the axis of physical and spiritual health and well-being. Themes include powerful endings and new beginnings, the end of cycles of illusion and delusion, breaking free from the shackles of addiction, and an end to victimhood, allowing us all to say goodbye to shadow Virgo traits, overthinking, perfectionism, and the illusion that we have control. This is the end of playing it small and seeking approval through overworking, feeling as though we're not enough and overcompensating through acts of service and overworking. In Virgo, we have the sun and moon aligned 10 to 15 degrees Virgo, and the south node of collective karmic fate and destiny, 18 degrees Virgo. Mercury is traveling very quickly through its sign of Earth domicile, and it's preparing for a powerful alignment with the sun, an alignment that we call Mercury Cazimi, Mercury's rebirth. This Mercury cazimi will be particularly powerful. This Mercury cazimi will be particularly powerful and intense due to the alignment of the south node of collective karmic fate and destiny, especially when it's on a Virgo degree. That has everything to do with addiction, chronic health issues, and collective health crises. We have a highly emotional full moon in Pisces, aligning with the north node of collective fate and destiny, bringing a fated ending that has a great purpose for our future path. Saturn retrograde 29 degrees Pisces. Saturn is retrograde 29 degrees Pisces from September 1st to September 14th, so the first half of September 2025. 29 degrees is considered an anaretic degree. It's a critical degree, unearthing urgent issues via crisis that leads to catharsis. In Pisces, this crisis relates to water, catastrophic flooding, and its opposite, extreme drought and shortages of clean, drinkable water. This is amplified by the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is retrograde 29 degrees Pisces, while Neptune is retrograde 1 degree Aries, highlighting themes of both too much water and not enough water in extreme ways. Fire is also amplified by the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune on the Pisces-Aries cusp. Aries is primal or cardinal fire. Themes of wildfire will continue to be amplified as Saturn and Neptune approach their exact conjunction on February 20th, 2026, and continue to travel through the sign of primal fire, Aries. One of my favorite bars in Nashville, Santa's Pub, barely survived a fire last night. Extreme weather and seismic activity, which are tied to Uranus retrograding on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus, amplified by Uranus stationing retrograde just one day prior to this full blood moon total lunar eclipse. 29 degrees Pisces specifically is the final degree of the zodiac, where everything ends and begins. The mythological Ouroboros, eating its own tail. 29 degrees Pisces is also tied to chemicals, poison, toxins, drugs, and pharmaceuticals. 29 degrees Pisces is where fixed star Shet or Shet is located, which is tied to major issues around the sea, shipwrecks and accidents at sea, issues with borders, and shipping or supply chain issues. Saturn is retrograde and will be for the next 6 months. Saturn in Pisces and Saturn and Neptune conjoining are all about taking your dreams and turning them into something real and tangible in the 3D. Take time over the next 6 months to reflect so that you are prepared to launch the new you by April 2026. Honor the grief of what's ending, whether it's a relationship, a job, a friendship, or a pet or loved one passing away. Life is but a series of attachments and detachments. 2025 is the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology. Like a snake sheds its skin, as we evolve, we outgrow relationships, environments, and connections that no longer serve our highest good. A snake must shed its skin in order to continually grow. In numerology, 2025 is a number 9 year, which is all about change, growth, and transformation. We are shifting from a dominance of earth to a dominance of fire. A much faster, more dynamic element. 2026 in Chinese astrology will be the year of the fire horse. And in numerology, it's a number 1 year, which is all about new beginnings. Fire is a highly spiritual element. It can take something material and completely destroy it. From those ashes, something new and much better than before can be built and reborn, like the phoenix. 15 degrees is a Gemini degree, and we have 3 planets located 15 degrees of their sign. The full blood moon, 15 degrees Pisces. The sun, 15 degrees Virgo, and Venus, 15 degrees Leo. The sun, 15 degrees Virgo, and Venus, 15 degrees Leo. Mercury, the sun, and south node of collective karmic fate and destiny aligned around 15 degrees Virgo are quintile Saturn and Neptune on the cusp of Aries and Pisces, highlighting themes around manifesting dreams into reality. And it also brings about an agitation and obsession centered on getting rid of the old to make room for the new. The moon, 15 degrees Pisces, we'll get into a little bit later on, and Venus, 15 degrees Leo, equals big love. But watch for playing favorites and being a bit overly domineering or dramatic in matters of the heart or money. Venus, 15 degrees Leo, is quintile Pluto retrograde 1 degree Aquarius, stirring up emotions around jealousy, obsession, and possessiveness. The power of love shifts us out of and away from the love of power, domination, and control. This aspect is also tied to changes in currency, which we'll see unfold over the next few weeks. peaking in November and December 2025, with Uranus 29 degrees Taurus. 15 degrees is also the halfway point of each zodiac sign, representing that sign's core energy. This full blood moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces answers to its traditional planetary ruler Jupiter, 19 degrees Cancer, and its modern planetary ruler Neptune, 1 degree Aries, tightly conjoined with Saturn, 29 degrees Pisces. The Sun and South Node in Virgo answer to Mercury in its sign of Earth domicile. The full moon and North Node of collective fate and destiny in Pisces form a long-term grand water trine with Jupiter 19 degrees Cancer and Black Moon Lilith 18 degrees Scorpio, co-present with Juno, asteroid of soulmates and long-term commitment. This energy can manifest as seeking greater comfort within the self, one's partner, or the home, but maybe a little too much in some cases, highlighting patterns of dependency and codependency, hindering self-sovereignty and independence. But where Jupiter in Cancer may be clinging too hard to the past, to tradition and comfort, strong emotions can come up, and they're not always helpful. I always say that water placements are some of the most difficult, because we really have to learn to get out of our feelings and into the present. And especially Cancer energy can be really stuck in the past, which can make us more prone to depression. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, strengthening the emotions and the energy. And it brings profound healing for those who have the courage to take the plunge and dive within. This is all aspecting Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. Black Moon Lilith is easily projected upon in Scorpio, and we can see an example of this as the divine feminine has been negatively portrayed by modern religion for the past few centuries. Divine wisdom has been hunted down and cast out as witchcraft. Sexuality, gender, race, and culture that dares to exist on the fringes of society, that dares to defy the patriarchy, power, and privilege, has been systemically marginalized during the past several thousand years during the age of Pisces. Recognize your own pain, but remember to use your voice wisely, especially within public contexts. There is great power in vulnerability, but ensure you have done the proper healing work first and are truly ready to share it with the collective. Lower vibrational people and beings can and will use what they perceive as weakness against you. Be mindful of the difference between vulnerability and projection or trauma dumping. A betrayal, hurt, or memory of trauma from the past resurfaces for healing. An apology may be coming in. And sometimes that same energy becomes an excuse for someone to abuse someone else in the name of that pain and trauma. Sometimes the victim becomes the abuser, especially when we remain unconscious of our patterns or fail to take accountability for them. Juno in Scorpio is about our long-term soulmates and commitments, both platonic and romantic. This can manifest as beings who may be showing up in your world right now. There could be the return of a past soulmate after a period of separation that led to healing. Or it could manifest as a deep yearning for such a connection. Nothing lasts forever. Time itself is an illusion. It's a human construct. Not every connection is meant to last, but every connection is meant to teach you a lesson and deepen your understanding of yourself. Some connections need to end, or at the very least, be transmuted so that they stop enabling dynamics of imbalance, harm, or toxicity. Be mindful of where you may be trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Other connections may mature and deepen as we learn to work through our triggers together. Some of you may be in the right place and ready to authentically and honestly deepen such ties with those you hold deep bonds with. Juno in Scorpio brings a deep, intense, passionate, at times obsessive, and sexual energy, and it usually indicates the powerful merging of resources in some way. This is my natal Juno placement, meaning that my soulmates have strong Scorpio energy, and so far, this has proven true. My karmic twin flame is a Scorpio stellium, with the North Node, Jupiter, and Pluto in Scorpio, and my current soulmate is a Scorpio stellium, with the South Node, Saturn, and Pluto in Scorpio. Wherever Scorpio is concerned, it's the kind of connection that forces you to transform and evolve, leading you back to the depths of your own internal fire, So what sets your soul ablaze? The North Node of collective fate and destiny and Nessus in Pisces requires us to reflect on our spiritual path, vulnerabilities, and any patterns of ABUSE. This can play out as past life dynamics replaying in the present, or in the realm of the dream world. It's in Pisces, a mutable water sign. So those who are prone to water retention, inflammation, swelling, and chronic or mystery illnesses linked to energetic sensitivity need to watch their health. Stay hydrated and bless your water prior to drinking it. Be thankful for the access to clean, drinkable water that so many of us take for granted. Drink an amount of water that's healthy for you and your body. And take time to soak your feet, ruled by Pisces, and your body in an Epsom salt bath. Listen to your intuition. Go with the flow. Trust the process. This is not a time to ignore your intuition, downloads, or messages received while sleeping, through the astral realm, or in deep states of meditation. I am extremely energetically sensitive. I pray for discernment and protection daily. Cleanse your aura regularly and seal it with a powerful protective shield using the power of intention. Exercise extreme discernment. Any back door can be a way in. Be aware of excessive alcohol consumption or other types of substance abuse. If you are the type to escape with avoidance, video games, mind-altering substances and chemicals, or who gets lost in fantasy often, make a conscious effort to stay grounded and focus on tangible tasks that energize and engage the body and mind. This can be a time when mental health really needs to be prioritized. Relapse is on the forecast. Avoid things that drain your emotions or make you feel overwhelmed. Make manageable to-do lists and take long restorative walks in nature. Amp up your requests for protection through prayer, especially before falling asleep. And for an added layer of spiritual protection, you can put selenite in each of the four corners of your bedroom. Ask it out loud and pray for guidance as to what you can do to break your patterns with intimate connections, family, and emotions, or whatever is coming up for you right now. And remember what Shrek always said, better out than in. Sit with those emotions. The answer lies within. You need only be willing to take the courage to plunge and dive deeper. Trust in divine timing. God's plan. Trust in divine timing. God's plan. Life is happening for you, not to you. And last but not least, we have Mars, 20 degrees Libra, squaring off against Jupiter, 19 degrees Cancer. This brings a crusading energy, compelling us to fight for what's right, to fight for justice and due causes. Jupiter and Libra are both about justice. Mars in Libra amplifies shadow Libra traits, such as putting the needs of the other before our own personal needs, which, when overblown, can lead to patterns of dependency and codependency. The exalted Jupiter in Cancer amplifies a need for self-care, as does all this activity along the Virgo-Pisces axis of health. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, you're a real one. Drop your current most used emoji in the comments. If you took anything away from this video, we ask that you like, comment, share the content, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, we know that you'll enjoy the full playlist and this additional video. Thank you so much, love you, and see you soon.